We've been telling you all day about breaking news that we have for you tonight. You are taking a live look now from Oglethorpe Mall, where 5 people, we are told, are hurt after a shooting at the mall. According to Chatham EMS, paramedics are on the scene. There's also, as you can see there, a large police presence. We do have a live crew on the way to the scene.
And you are a store owner, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I run the lit store right at the front entrance.
Tell us what happened. What did you hear?
So I was checking out a couple customers, and in the middle of that, just out of nowhere, we heard multiple gunshots. They were just on and on and on. So whatever it was, it couldn't have been a handgun. It had to have been something much larger. It was going off immediately, one after the other.
And what was happening during that time?
During that time, customers, workers, everybody started running out of the entrance. And although everybody was trying to get to safety, I think it made it a little bit more dangerous because they started trampling over people. Kids were falling. Luckily, the few people that were in my store, I was able to close the gate and let them out of my back door.
In your briefing, did you get a chance to find out how many people are involved and if they are in custody?
Right now, that will be for the police. They're still in the middle of their investigation. Again, we're ensuring that the building has been secured.
What do you think about what happened today as mayor of this fine
It
city?
pisses me off.
Excuse me?
It pisses me off. Again, another incident of gun violence. People come to a mall to be able to shop and to be able to eat and be able to work and earn a living. This is not the type of place where we would even think that these types of things would happen. And we'll find out who is responsible, and we're going to hold them accountable.
You've talked about...
We hope when we do, that they are not only prosecuted by our prosecutors to the fullest extent of law, but they're sentenced to the fullest extent of law. People who choose to use guns in violent activities across our city don't deserve to live in our city.
We're here with Chief Lenny Gunther. Chief, what's happening?
We responded to a shooting here at the Oglethorpe Mall about 5:40 p.m. The preliminary information that we received is that multiple individuals were shot. What I can confirm right now is, as of what we know, it was not an active shooter. This is not a random shooting. It appears to be 2 groups that were shooting at each other, probably known to each other. As of right now, we have 3 victims, different ages, young adults, 2 young adults, 1 juvenile, all non-fatal shootings right now, expected to live as of right now. Everyone's been evacuated out of the mall, but we're still clearing the mall to make sure there's no additional victims and or suspects. That's all I have right now.
Do you have any idea who the suspects are? Have you been able to identify them or take them into custody?
Not right now.
Out of nowhere, you just hear rapid fire, back-to-back shots ringing. I would say, from the food court area of the mall. Of course, I dropped to the floor. Customers are running everywhere. All the gates are dropping down. I stayed on the floor. Maybe 5 minutes go by, a gentleman comes walking by. He's, I would assume, bleeding out, asking for help.
Man was wounded, came into your store.
Walking by, yes, sir, yes, sir. And I stayed on the floor, and he continued to walk by. I'd say maybe 5 minutes after that, maybe 6-7 minutes after that, the police came in, instructed everyone to stay where they're at, and they kind of secured the area from there.
What are you thinking while this is happening?
I'm just glad I'm alive, just for my mother's sake and my family's sake. I have to take care of them, look after my family, so I'm just happy I'm okay.
Also saw them ducking for cover as if someone was shooting at them.
Right, and I'm sure that surveillance video is going to be key in this investigation. That'll be something for officers to look at and hopefully try to be able to identify a suspect. You are looking at the video there. It's a very chaotic scene. Starts off slow. Take a look at the one in the white t-shirt and the dark pants, and then you're going to see someone at the right side of your screen come in and start shooting, and that's when the chaos just erupts. And police did say it started in a store and then extended outside the store. That's what you're seeing happening right about now. You'll see they run off into kind of like that hallway area, but police at the mall tell us they had no warning that this was coming. All of a sudden, it was all calm, and then they just heard gunshots. A lot of people sheltered in place, and it took quite a while for police to go through the entire building and make sure that everyone was out.
I want to do a quick recap and update of the incident that took place today. At approximately 5:41 p.m. today, officers responded to the the Oglethorpe Mall, reports of a shooting. Upon our response, we discovered 3 victims sustained gunshot wounds. Their ages ranged. We had 2 young adults and 1 juvenile. Those 3 individuals sustained non-fatal wounds. They were transported to the hospital for treatment. In addition to those 3 individuals, we had 3 adults who also sustained medical-related complications that were also transported to the hospital. SPD responded. We evacuated the mall. At this time, we're in our final stages of clearing the mall, just to ensure there's no one left that needs help, anything like that. In addition, right now we have units in the 900 block of East Wahlberg regarding a shooting of an adult male who sustained multiple gunshot wounds. We're waiting on his status right now.
Chief,
I'll take some questions.
Who do you think is responsible and why? And who are you looking for?
The prelim information that we have right now is that there were 2 groups shooting at each other.
Tonight with breaking news and a live look at Oglethorpe Mall, where a shooting has sent multiple people to the hospital. Now, here's what we know right now. Police say 3 people have been shot. Their injuries are non-life-threatening, and one of the victims is a juvenile. EMS has transported them to Memorial Health. We are also learning 3 other people have been taken to the hospital for non-gunshot related medical complications. Officials have not said what caused those medical issues. Thanks so much for joining us at 11. I'm Shannon Royster.
And I'm Brooke Butler. We have team coverage tonight as this story continues to develop. WJCL 22 News' Greg Coy is live for us at Oglethorpe Mall.
And Greg, what can you tell us from the scene?
Still very much of an active crime scene, Shannon and Brooke. You could see the crime tape behind me. You could see officers, their patrol cars all around the entrance of the malls, particularly the food court where we're told that this happened. Inside the mall, where we can't go inside, we cannot show you, we're told that officers, investigators, particularly the SWAT team, are combing the footprint of that mall, milling about, collecting evidence, protecting the crime scene, also looking to see if there's anyone that is still left behind that they need to talk to. Obviously, the mall is in a lockdown after that shooting that happened inside around the food court area, wounding 3 people, sending them to the hospital, creating both fear and panic. Tonight, police tell us that they're actively searching for at least 2 gunmen who apparently knew each other and started firing at one another, putting innocent lives here at this mall in danger. WJCL 22 News has been told by several witnesses inside that there were gunshots, as many as 12. Stores going into lockdown, employees and customers hunkering and sheltering in place. Tonight, Mayor Van Johnson and Police Chief Lenny Gunther, who you just saw on WJCL 22 News, holding a news conference to talk about this shooting that happened and the efforts underway to find those responsible to arrest them. Here's what they had to say.
There were 2 groups shooting at each other. I want to make it very clear that this was not an active shooter. The information that we have right now is 2 groups that appear to be known to each other. And at that time, they started shooting at each other. Anything about this incident, you could call Crime Stoppers, you could call the mayor directly.
I thank God. This could have easily been a 6 fatality event. And right now we're going to talk about any. I'm grateful for these gentlemen, the one to my left and these 2 to my right. I got here relatively soon after, and the response was overwhelming.
Now, WJCL 22 News has obtained surveillance video from inside one of the stores showing one of the gunmen firing his weapon outside the door, firing at someone, then ducking back inside and then firing again. The police today confirmed that they have seen that video. They know of its existence. In fact, we watched one of the employees who had that video on his cell phone bringing it over to the Savannah Police Department. WJCL 22 News, we had extensive coverage. We've been out here for about 5 hours now. I want to toss things over now to my colleague, WJCL 22 News reporter Tia Maggio on the other side of the mall. Tia, you've been talking to witnesses and employees about this whole ordeal, some of them watching, some of them hearing it, some of them telling you that they are shaken to the core. Tia.
Absolutely, Greg. Well, witnesses tell me that this is going to be a day that they look back on for the rest of their lives, because this was a day, Greg, that they genuinely feared for their lives.
Only words I can find right now is life-changing for sure.
Ricky Evans, along with hundreds of people at the Oglethorpe Mall Wednesday, say it's a day they will never forget. Evans inside the mall when a series of shots rang out. That's when he said chaos followed.
Everybody was scrambling. We had people running behind us trying to come in the store and let us, trying to get to safety. So they're asking us to please let them in the back of the store along with us.
City officials confirmed 2 groups shot at each other inside the mall Wednesday. With nowhere to go, Evans quickly taking cover, not knowing if the shooter was closing in.
I'm just waiting for a bullet to impact, the rear of my back or something, and just that feeling in that time when you're trying to run somewhere and get to safety, and then you're just kind of like a sitting duck because there's nowhere to go.
This viewer shows the aftermath of the shooting. A significant amount of blood can be seen on the floor.
They pulled someone out on the stretcher, and they were trying to revive her while do CPR on her, but you could tell, it wasn't looking too good at that point.
City leaders like Alderman Dietrich Leggett demanding justice.
For people to use open carry and shoot out here in the middle of a public space like this is something I won't be standing for.
And promising there will be consequences.
We will have some people arrested because there were some people who was involved with it, and they're going to be brought to justice.
Meanwhile, Evans is just grateful to be alive.
Just coming out, I was just happy to see daylight. I was just happy to see daylight.
And Greg, there's one thing that's not clear, of course, as there's following information and details that are going to be released in these further weeks and days. There is one thing that's clear. This is going to stay with the community here for a very long time. I'm going to toss it back to you, reporting live here on Abercorn Street. Tia Maggio, WJCL 22 News.
Tia, quick question to you. I spoke to one man who said that he could only think about his life, his family, his mother as he was ducking and hearing gunshots. And you've heard from other people, employees and customers who pretty much echoed the same thoughts, Tia.
Absolutely, Greg. I actually have a friend who's a mall employee as well, and she's been here for quite some time, very concerned. I mean, she actually's been listening to her manager and boss, who is still waiting for the word if they could ever gone back into that mall and get their personal belongings. Because as you can imagine, in a situation like this, you're leaving everything behind and you're only thinking about getting yourself out of here safely. So a lot of employees here, this is going to stick with them, and I can only imagine the following days when they have to return to work. This is going to be something that's very traumatic for them, yes.
Tia Maggio reporting live from Oglethorpe Mall with reaction from some of the customers and witnesses who had to endure this horror. As you just heard, as you watched live on WJCL 22 News, we broke into programming to bring you the police chief, Lenny Gunther, and the mayor, Van Johnson, talk about the number of people injured, at least 3, one of them perhaps a juvenile. They were rushed to Memorial Hospital for medical care. And that's where we find my colleague, WJCL 22 News investigative reporter Andy Cole, standing by. And Andy, you were talking to Memorial Hospital, the doctors and the folks there, saying that they sprung into action the minute this happened and the minute the ambulances arrived at their doorstep.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Greg. The staff at Memorial Health were ready for those 3 shooting victims. So prepared, they didn't even need to call in additional doctors or nurses. But as police continue to investigate this shooting, a whole other mission is underway now here, treating those injured.
Rapid response from the doctors and nurses at Savannah's Memorial Health, the only level 1 trauma center in the area, prepared for the 3 gunshot victims injured in the mass shooting at Oglethorpe Mall.
We have a dedicated team that responds specifically to traumas. So we have trauma nurses, physicians, radiology staff, lab staff, OR staff that all respond and are prepared.
While specifics haven't been publicly released, hospital officials say all involved in their care are now in fair condition. Police locking down the hospital as staff set up a separate treatment area for those injured.
I imagine detectives can come and speak with folks and families. Is that right?
Yes, it gives them some privacy, an area where the detectives can do their job and not be interrupted, but also it allows us to treat other patients.
Storm clouds rolled in. An apt image for the more than 3 dozen waiting hours in the ER parking lot, desperate for answers.
I'm sure they're very nervous, want to know what's going on. The police department is giving them as much information as they can. We empathize with them in this situation, but we also have to be safe and protect them.
WJCL 22 News' Emma Hamilton and Lydia Blackstone bringing us team coverage live from the scene of that shooting this morning. And Emma, I'm going to start with you. What do police know right now?
Yeah, hey Frank, good morning, and good morning to everyone at home right now. Almost 12 hours after this shootout happened here at the Oglethorpe Mall, and there is still caution tape up behind me. There are still forensic units here on the food court side of the mall. We also did a lap around the mall this morning, and there are Savannah police officers out front right on the Abercorn side taking watch all night long as they continue to investigate this shooting. Now, here's what we know so far this morning. That shooting, it started in a store inside of the mall, and then it spilled out into the food court. Those shots first broke out just after 5:30, as you heard Frank mention earlier. Now, police telling us so far there are no arrests made right now, but police actively looking for at least 2 gunmen who apparently knew each other. And they say that there is no longer any threat to the public right now, but those suspects still on the run this morning.
Good morning. We are interrupting programming for some breaking news in the wake of yesterday's mall shootout in Savannah, where several people were injured at the Oglethorpe Mall. Chatham County District Attorney Shalana Cook-Jones hosting a press conference this morning. We want to go ahead and get you out there to the courthouse steps and hear her comments.
That bus is going to be loud. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to the citizens of Chatham County, whether you're present here today or whether you're watching on the news. I am Shalana Jones, your district attorney for Chatham County. But today I stand here before you, not just as your district attorney, but as a citizen of our beloved county. I'm standing here to address and speak to an event, an incident that has impacted our entire community. Whether you live in Savannah or any of the surrounding municipalities, there was no way you could not have been touched by the shooting that took place at Oglethorpe Mall on yesterday.
And tonight, the Chatham County District Attorney using fiery words. WJCL 22 News' Andy Cole joining us live. Last night, you were a part of our extended coverage from Memorial Hospital. Tonight, you're in front of the courthouse because the DA is telling you enough is enough.
Yeah, that's right, Greg. Shalana Cook-Jones rarely speaks on active cases, so it's a big shock to us when we spent more than an hour with her discussing this mall shootout. I asked her why she decided to speak out. She says it was a video she saw last night of the shooting, a young boy running out of the mall with a dinosaur in hand. It was that video that kept her up all night and inspired this passionate plea.
This video is going viral for all of the wrong reasons. It shows the violent mall shootout between what law enforcement sources call rival gangs. 3 young people were hit.
And I have one question for them. How dare you? How dare you come into our community in a shared, common, supposedly safe place, and you put everyone at risk? It will not be tolerated.
Chatham County District Attorney Shalana Cook-Jones condemning the firefight in a press conference Thursday, saying the case has become her office's top priority.
And as your prosecutor, it would be premature for me to rush to judgment. But what I can say is that this was deliberate and coordinated.
Officials say 2 of the shooting victims could be suspects themselves. Savannah police initially announced underage handgun possession charges for the pair, but have since changed their mind. This video, captured by a WJCL 22 viewer, shows a handgun dropped by one of the shooters, left behind amongst dots of blood.
By the time a shooting like this happens in our community, it is far too late. So what I'm saying to the members of our community is that we need to get a grip on our young people before they get a grip on guns.
Standing alongside a half-dozen faith leaders, DA Cook-Jones pleaded for the end of the apparent gun violence epidemic in Savannah, taking aim at Georgia's Constitutional Carry Act, which allows anyone to carry a gun without a permit, something video shows happened at the mall.
You cannot both claim that you have and embrace a right to carry firearms when our children are shooting each other in the face in Ellis Square and at Oglethorpe Mall and in the streets in the Barrows and in the 30s.